Hello everyone, this is Flatline, and today I'm going to be covering up proxy gateways and how you actually deal with them in PvP. So in PvP there's this cheese, you proxy gate at your opponent's base, and some people don't really know how to deal with it. There's actually four methods, but I'll show you three of them because the fourth one is just a little bit harder to pull off. And it's basically like, let's say you didn't make anything, all you would do is just try to get out 3 stalkers as soon as possible. That way of playing, it's extremely difficult to actually pull off because of how many zealots your opponent can have already. Like, they should have at least 5 zealots before you have 3 stalkers out, and dealing with 5 zealots is really difficult in that regard. So my opponent is going to be proxying inside my base, and I'm opening up pretty standard here. I'm going to go on my vision, and then you want to gateway scout. This is one of the things, you 9 pylon, 13 gateway, and then you're going to start scouting around. You want to scout inside your base. Boom, I see the 2 extra gateways going down. That means he's going for the proxy 2 gates. It's time for me to respond. So one of the ways I respond to this is don't do that. I was actually really bad. Lost a lot of mining time from that. But that's not the biggest case. You want to get 2 gateways, and then you want to just continue on with your probe production until you have near 16. Or ideally you want to. He's actually still making probes. That's actually weird. So he has his 2 gateways here. Oh no, I'm thinking of a different build. Okay, so you stop at 14 and then you add on 3 gateways. And this is what I will have as an advantage. He does have his gateways quicker than mine. So what you want to do is you kind of not want to engage into his army unless you have to. The only time you have to engage into his army is if it's near your mineral line. So you see I pulled off a lot of probes here. I mean, it is a lot compared to him. What you have to also remember is that if I shut this down, there's nothing back at his base. So all I want to do is just completely stop this from happening. And I get a pretty good surround on most of his units here. We're getting more zealots. This is pretty much what how the pros would kind of like deal with it. Is they kind of just go with the more gateways, with more zealots, just because you're more. It's a little bit more solid than the others. It comes down to micro, obviously. See, I'm losing a lot of probes. You can see I'm down in supply though, right? Because I don't have as many probes as him. I have 8, he has 12, but like I said, this is a very cheesy all-in. He has to kill you. If he doesn't kill you, then you could kind of just win the game in that regard. You can see I'm going to be sending out 2 of these zealots. It's going to be going towards his base pretty soon here. So regrouping, grabbing up my extra zealots here, and now I have a total of 4 compared to his 3. Here comes the 4th one coming over here. Now he's gonna start losing all of them. He actually stayed here way too long, so I was able to kill off all of them. Now I have 3 zealots compared to what? His 1 that's about to come out here. He has 1 over here as well, but back at his base he has nothing. So this is why this stalker style you'll see a lot of the Korean pros kind of just do, because it's a little bit more reliable than the other ones, because you could defend with more zealots and then you can kind of counterattack pretty well. But yeah, so this is the first method, and we'll be going on to the second method. Alright guys, so this is going to be the second method on how to defend the proxy gates. We saw in the first one basically we just want to have more zealots and just micro and only engage near our mineral line. or if I could get a surround. If you're able to surround his zealots and have your zealots stay alive, and you lose just a couple of probes, you're gonna be in pretty good shape. You don't want to lose like all of them though, because then it's gonna get really bad. So this is one of the games where I don't scout his proxy gate, right? I don't see it whatsoever, so it's not the best thing to ever happen to me. And I'm even going double assimilator before cyber, so just the worst case scenario, right? In dealing with proxy gateways. You do want to scout inside your base though. If you see that I scouted over here and right here, I know that he's not there when I scouted. At the cyber, you can go ahead and scout. Now I see his 2 gateways. I'm like, okay, now he's doing this. So what should I do in this response? You actually just want to chrono boost out a zealot. This zealot's going to help you buy time, and then you want to rush for a mothership core. So you want to save up chrono for it, and I get a nice surround right here. I do lose a probe in the process, but I was able to kill off his zealot. Oh, and almost got that zealot as well. So here comes that mothership that I was talking about. Still making more zealots. I don't need that pylon. This is the cool thing, you want to make sure you power up your gateway with 2 pylons, just in case if they do proxy gate, because if they do kill that 1 pylon, it's going to get really, really difficult for you. So he's only killing pylons, which is not the best thing. Obviously you could go for the probes, but I'll just move them around and let my mothership kind of kill them. I mean, he's still losing them as time goes by. He does have 4 zealots. It's one of those moments where it gets really, really difficult for me. What you want to do is you kind of just want to keep your probes alive as much as possible until you get photon overcharge. Once you get photon overcharge, things become extremely easy for you, where you can kind of just win. All you would do mainly is photon overcharge and send the mothership to his base. So this is the other method that some Koreans do, and this is the only time they'll do this style, is if they don't see the proxy gateways, or they see the proxy gateways but it's too late, where they see it after the cyber. So turn on the photon overcharge. We'll look back at his base. He does have a cyber on the way, but look at this. He doesn't have any defense. And this is one of the downsides to proxy gateways, is that they don't have any defense back at their base. So you can do a lot of damage sending that mothership core to his base. Now if you're wondering why would you send the mothership core instead of the stalkers, because nothing shoots up. So having an air unit hovering over his probes is the best thing. If you set the stalker, you can kind of like micro his way to trying to trap your stalkers, and you don't really want that to happen. With the photon overcharge and a stalker, I should be fine. And I set the stalker up front because he has zealots, and I just wanted to depower the gateways. If he did have more zealots over here, obviously then I wouldn't engage into that. Instead, what I would do is like try to wall this off as much as possible and get out sentries as soon as possible. Or you would go for 3 stalkers like I was talking about. I'm going to rush for 3 stalkers. 3 stalkers is a pretty good number when it comes to picking off zealots. So this is the second method on defending proxy gates, and we'll go on to the third method that I use. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is going to be the third method on how to defend against proxy gates. Now this method I kind of recommend for the lower leagues. You can still do this in Master League, of course, but if you're a lower league player and you're still having difficulty with dealing with proxy gates with, you know, the first 2 methods, then I would resort to this one. And it's basically getting a reactor forged to it. It's basically you throw down the forge right when you see the 2 gateways going inside your base. and send a probe to his base. You do not want to lose this probe because he's going to be counter rushing him. And you do want to put 2 pylons, like I said, powering your gateway. You also want to consider making a sim city. You can see this sim city is really nice. I could put 1 zealot here, and it kind of blocks them off, and it goes like 1 zealot against 1 zealot. You can want to try to do that quite a bit. So just get in the habit of powering your gateway with your first 2 pylons, and then try to sim city in a where, like, if it was a proxy gateway that's going to happen, you have a pretty good sim city that's going to help you. Alright, so I confirmed that he did finish those 2 gateways. Good. In the meantime, I am gonna go over here, start the cannon rush, because I do have my cannon here. It's finished up. I did lose 2 probes, or 4 probes. Wow. I did lose a couple of probes here, but ooh, excuse me. In the process, I'm able to get this the cannon rush off. So since I got the cannon rush off, the next step is to kind of just defend. I just have to defend against this, and then I should be okay. Now, if you look at my vision, I can see that he doesn't have this guys, and I can see that he doesn't have this guys. So he cannot have any stalkers whatsoever. It's only going to be zealots. He's also making an expansion, right? My natural, that's kind of weird. So my forge is not in the best spot. Definitely not in the best spot. I'm going to put up 2 cannons, because like I said, you just have to focus on defending, and then you should be okay. So every second counts for me. It's always going to be in my advantage at this point. I cannon rushed over here. I'm able to kill off his nexus. It's pretty nice. Now, if you don't want a cannon rush, that's perfectly fine. What you would do instead is, once you get the forge, get your gas, and just start playing normal right there. It's basically going to kind of even out the game, because he forced you to make a cannon and a forge. That's 300 minerals that you invested into something that's not going to help you out in a later stage of the game. One thing you do need to worry about if you do that kind of method is, one, is he committing to a lot of zealots? If he is, then it's going to be a little bit easier for you, but if he's going for stalkers, you need to immediately get a cyber and extra gateways, because you do need to catch up in production against them. In the meantime, I'm just going to be chrono boosting out some more zealots here, and he has this expansion as well. He's going to lose this one, and I'm looking for his expansion. You can see I have this unit, this probe on patrol to extra bases here. And here comes my extra gateways. He doesn't have any stalkers whatsoever. And we saw that. So I'm going to abuse that then. I know he doesn't have any stalkers, so let me get some stalkers out. And this is going to help me out when it comes to initiating. You can see that he's fighting my zealots and then pulling back. The addition of this stalkers kind of prevent that. He's going to actually have to engage with my army completely, and then you can kind of win just like that. So my stalker is out, and he knows this is pretty much bad news for him, because he has to kind of just kill me now. He has to kind of kill me, because if I'm able to get up 3 stalkers, like I said, you're gonna kind of just win the game. So all I have to do here is just win. What you want to do is put your probes on hold position. What this does is it disrupts the AI, and they're kind of just stuck here. You can see them just dancing and prancing around here. They can't really get anything going on. My 2 cannons kind of prevail at this point. So that's GG. So yeah, so this is pretty much how you would defend the proxy gateways if you're having difficult with them. And yeah, so if you have any comments or questions or anything like that, you can definitely put it in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything. I probably did, but if you do ask a question, it might help me remind it if it's something relevant to your question. But yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.